Have you ever eaten salad rolls in a restaurant and wondered how difficult they were to make at home? They're actually quite easy. I'm going to show you how with a simple trick. I've let my tofu drain for about 30 minutes. That will help it stay really extra crispy in the pan. So what I'm going to do is dip the tofu into some black and white sesame seeds. I'm using extra firm tofu. If you use soft tofu, you might find that it would fall apart in the pan. And all we're going to do is sear the tofu on both sides until it's nice and crispy and brown. Flip it over onto the second side. Now in this recipe I'm using tofu, but if you don't have tofu at home or don't want to use it, shrimp would be great, or maybe some leftover chicken from last night. Now that these are nicely seared on the second side, I'm just going to put them on a plate. And to the pan, I'm going to add just a little bit more oil, and then I'm going to add some shiitake mushrooms. I think the mushrooms add a really great texture to this dish, so just cook them until they're nice and brown. And once the tofu is nice and cool, go ahead and slice it into strips. And now we're ready to make our salad rolls. I'm using spring roll wrappers that look like this. They're made usually out of rice flour or tapioca flour, and they're really fragile. So you want to be careful when you're working with them. This is warm water. You're just going to dip the wrapper in and let it get soft for about 15 seconds. You want it pliable, but you don't want it to be too soft, otherwise you'll have a hard time rolling it up. Now that's perfect. See how it's just a little bit bendy and a little bit pliable, but it's not falling all over itself. Take that out and then smooth it down onto your work surface. I'm going to roll up one quickly so you can see how it's done, and then I'll slow it down for you. Perfect. Let's do that again. Now I'm going to start by laying down some mint leaves, and then take a couple pieces of our sesame crusted tofu, mushrooms, then we've got some red bell pepper, carrots that I cut with a vegetable peeler, and finally some bean sprouts. These give it a lot of texture and crunch. Now, here's the trick. Start with the bottom of the spring roll wrapper and lift it up and tightly over the top. Then you're going to take the left side and tuck it in, and don't worry, you're not going to tear this. These are actually pretty strong when they're wet. Take the right side, pull it up and over, and then just roll the rest up. And there you go. Now, I'm not done yet. I'm going to finish these off by making my own homemade version of peanut sauce. Okay, in this bowl, I have a little bit of natural peanut butter. Add some milk, Greek yogurt, lime juice, brown sugar, cilantro, soy sauce, a little bit of sesame oil, and finally, because I like a little bit of kick, some sriracha. Perfect. All I'm going to do is serve these up. Now, you don't have to just use those spring roll wrappers for this particular recipe. You can skip the bread and add your favorite sandwich fillings, or roll up last night's leftovers, and you've got a quick lunch for later on.